Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Then whence cometh evil? Is he neither able nor willing? Then why call him God? Death, therefore, the most awful of evils, is nothing to us, seeing that, when we are, death is not come, and, when death is come, we are not. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. Of all the means to ensure happiness throughout the whole life, by far the most important is the acquisition of friends. Why should I fear death? If I am, then death is not. If death is, then I am not. Why should I fear that which can only exist when I do not? Long time men lay oppressed with slavish fear. Religious tyranny did domineer. At length the mighty one of Greece began to assent the liberty of man. Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. The wealth required by nature is limited and is easy to procure, but the wealth required by vain ideals extends to infinity. You don't develop courage by being happy in your relationships every day. You develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity. It is folly for a man to pray to the gods for that which he has the power to obtain by himself. Not what we have, but what we enjoy, constitutes our abundance. I have never wished to cater to the crowd, for what I know they do not approve, and what they approve I do not know. It is not so much our friends' help that helps us as the confident knowledge that they will help us. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. If the gods listened to the prayers of men, all humankind would quickly perish, since they constantly pray for many evils to befall one another. Never say that I have taken it, only that I have given it back. I was not, I was, I am not, I care not. He who has peace of mind disturbs neither himself nor another. I am writing this not to many, but to you. Certainly we are a great enough audience for each other. Don't fear the gods. Don't worry about death. What is good is easy to get, and what is terrible is easy to endure. Empty is the argument of the philosopher which does not relieve any human suffering. The noble man is chiefly concerned with wisdom and friendship. Of these, the former is a mortal good, the latter an immortal one. Nothing is sufficient for the person who finds sufficiency too little. The fool's life is empty of gratitude and full of fears, its course lies wholly toward the future. We must, therefore, pursue the things that make for happiness, seeing that when happiness is present, we have everything, but when it is absent, we do everything to possess it. Death is nothing to us. When we exist, death is not, and when death exists, we are not. All sensation and consciousness ends with death, and therefore in death there is neither pleasure nor pain. The fear of death arises from the belief that in death, there is awareness. He who says either that the time for philosophy has not yet come or that it has passed is like someone who says that the time for happiness has not yet come or that it has passed. To eat and drink without a friend is to devour like the lion and the wolf. It is better for you to be free of fear lying upon a pallet, than to have a golden couch and a rich table and be full of trouble. Be moderate in order to taste the joys of life in abundance. The greater the difficulty, the more the glory in surmounting it. All friendship is desirable in itself, though it starts from the need of help. He who least needs tomorrow, will most gladly greet tomorrow. If you wish to make Pythocles rich, do not add to his store of money, but subtract from his desires. The time when you should most of all withdraw into yourself is when you are forced to be in a crowd. Let no one delay the study of philosophy while young nor weary of it when old. The purpose of all knowledge, metaphysical as well as scientific, is to achieve what Epicurus called ataraxia, freedom from irrational fears and anxieties of all sorts, in brief, peace of mind. Misfortune seldom intrudes upon the wise man, his greatest and highest interests are directed by reason throughout the course of life. Vain is the word of that philosopher which does not heal any suffering of man. Understand that death is nothing to us makes the mortality of life enjoyable, not because it adds to it an infinite span of time, but because it takes away the craving for immortality. For there is nothing terrible in life for the man who has truly comprehended that there is nothing terrible in not living. The most important consequence of self-sufficiency is freedom. The wise man who has become accustomed to necessities knows better how to share with others than how to take from them, so great a treasure of self-sufficiency has he found. I never desired to please the rabble. What pleased them, I did not learn, and what I knew was far removed from their understanding. I was not, I have been, I am not, I do not mind. We should look for someone to eat and drink with before looking for something to eat and drink. So death, the most terrifying of ills, is nothing to us, since so long as we exist, death is not with us, but when death comes, then we do not exist. It does not then concern either the living or the dead, since for the former it is not, and the latter are no more. If a little is not enough for you, nothing is. Nothing is enough to the man for whom enough is too little. If the gods listened to the prayers of men, all men would quickly have perished, for they are forever praying for evil against one another. If thou wilt make a man happy, add not unto his riches but take away from his desires. Of all the things which wisdom acquires to produce the blessedness of the complete life, for the greatest is the possession of friendship. It is not the pretended but the real pursuit of philosophy that is needed, for we do not need the appearance of good health but to enjoy it in truth. We must exercise ourselves in right things which bring happiness, since, if that be present, we have everything, and if that be absent, all our actions are directed toward attaining it. Contented poverty is an honorable estate. If you shape your life according to nature, you will never be poor, if according to people's opinions, you will never be rich. We need to set our affections on one good man and keep him constantly before our eyes, so that we may live as if he were watching us and do everything as if he saw what we were doing. Death is nothing to us, because a body that has been dispersed into elements experiences no sensations, and the absence of sensation is nothing to us. Men inflict injuries from hatred, jealousy, or contempt, but the wise man masters all these passions by means of reason. Therefore, foolish is the man who says that he fears death, not because it will cause pain when it arrives, but because anticipation of it is painful. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more life-changing quotes.